Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.
Okay, welcome to the Rebellious Noise Football Channel. It is Scott here, and I'm with Dan. As you can see, not the happiest Man United fan. Well, I doubt any of you are happy right now. Let's be clear about that. But I'm gonna let, just like when Arsenal got knocked out in the last round, mate. I'm gonna let you have your space here, and just say it how it is. I mean, from the outside first, because I imagine you might be gathering some of your thoughts. I will say it was a pretty interesting game as a neutral, back and forth. Villareal had a really good opening spell. Obviously, got the early goal with Moreno. Did really well doing that. And then later on, obviously, Cavani, the star man lately as well, picked up a goal for you guys. And I'd say Villarreal looked on the ropes for a long time. And then suddenly, that first half of extra time, they seem to be the ones coming back into it and look more likely to win it. Then again, the second half of extra time, Man United kind of came back into it again. And then you have a penalty shootout where 21 goals, I think it is, basically went in. And obviously the 22nd being David de Gea, not quite working out for the keeper. So, Dan, what are your thoughts?
First of all, good evening. Hello. Welcome. Gutted, mate. Gutted. I think it's one of the, it's really like an awkward scenario, I guess, because part of you thinks like, oh, we should have won the game, but we didn't do enough to win it. To be fair, I don't think either team did enough to win it. Like the fact that between the two teams there were 3 shots on target in 120 minutes of football is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last, I think, is 3 or 4 games between the two teams had finished 0-0. So it was nice to actually see a couple of goals in there.
Yeah, true. Quite a lot at the end of all the penalties.
Yeah. But I mean, it was kind of strange though. Even when the keeper saved that penalty, I was like, they're all celebrating. I'm like, they do realise that VAR is checking every single one to make sure the goalkeepers are staying on the line.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't think about that as well.
So like, imagine if they did all that, the bundle thing, and then it's actually VAR check. Yeah, you're off your line, retake.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought, to be fair, I've got to just say something about the penalties. I thought, all of the penalties are pretty much really good quality penalties, actually. I just thought De Gea was unlucky with a couple of them. Their keeper was unlucky with a couple of them.
I think their keeper
was saved Shaw's.
Yeah, and even I think it was Fernandez as well. When Fernandez, he got a hand too, because that was, I think, the third round of penalties. They nearly basically missed on their third round, and then Bruno got the next one as well, also nearly missed. And that's when I was like, oh, this ain't got long to it. Yeah. and then literally every outfield player and the goalkeeper gets to take one.
Yeah, I mean, they're always exciting when they're like that. And, and I was saying to you, like, off air, like, I love penalty shootouts, but I hate them when my team's involved.
Of course, yeah.
As I can see from behind you, like with the England things, especially the shirt that's on the right-hand side as I'm looking at it, we had some hard luck in that shirt as England fans.
That one as well.
And that one as well, yeah.
That's the only one that we did, because there was no penalties.
But yeah, I mean, as I say, like with the whole like Europa League thing, like, didn't want to win that anyway, mate. We're in the Champions League, we don't.
I was thinking earlier, I wonder if you start saying that.
No, I think the only thing was, if we'd have won the Europa League, we would have probably got a more favourable draw in next year's Champions League, because the Europa League winners go in into pot 1. So I think we go in, I think, to pot 2 now, or pot 3, 2 or 3. So
So yeah, like you say, as a game, then did you find it? I guess like I said, as a neutral, I found it entertaining in the fact that it was back and forth. But yeah, wasn't exactly a lot of goal threat though.
Yeah, no, not a lot of clear cut chances. It was if I'm honest, it was poor, mate. It was honestly so poor. I was surprised that it took us until well into extra time to actually make any changes as well.
100 minutes.
Like
100 minutes, mate. I was very shocked by that.
I mean, and you think by that time, Villareal had made 5.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It wasn't exactly the normal 3 either. So there was plenty of time to, and I think, and again, being an Arsenal fan, you know, I've had my kind of gripes with Unai Emery subs at times. Sometimes he does them too early. Sometimes, and it just shows that he didn't know what he was doing originally, and he kind of changed it up. And then other times he's done them a bit too late. This one, I think he did it really well. He brought on 2 people, I think, on the 88th minute. So it was like just as it was like you can either nick us the extra goal now and we can win it, or you're fresh for extra time. And I thought, okay, well, Ollie ain't done any subs, so maybe he's going to bring them all on. I think, which even that was a risk. You know, he should have at least brought 1 or 2 players on around the 75 or the 80th minute sort of thing, or even right down the end, you know. But then to go into, even still 100 minutes before you made 1 change. I was very shocked by that.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing though was I think the 4 players that he had up front were probably the 4 strongest players that he was going to have there, really.
Maybe, yeah.
You know, obviously Greenwood, Fernandes, Rashford and Cavani, you know. I think it would have been different if we'd have had, say, like a Martial on the bench, because then that gives you another option up front. Or, I mean, yeah, we brought on Dan James towards the end, but...
Yeah. I think, even if it weren't about getting that goal right at the end, obviously, which we'd prefer, one of those guys were on the bench and you had someone else on, you'd love to bring one of those guys on. But I think just fresh legs. I mean, that first 15 minutes of extra time, you guys looked knackered. And Villareal looked like they were going to get a goal.
Yeah, I think as soon as extra time hit, the players just seemed like they were like, right, okay, let's just try and get this to penalties kind
of
thing.
Do you think? Yeah. Because I found that weird as well. I mean, I don't like coming on here and saying certain injuries weren't as bad as they looked and all that kind of, or as bad as they made out. But was it Shaw right at the end was laying on the floor for about 2-3 minutes, and it's like I just don't feel like that's what you do in a final, like for Man United, because Man United shouldn't be chasing the win. It should be expected that pressure. Man United are going to get this, because you guys always sneak a goal at the end. You know, it always works out that way, or a penalty. You know, like it always works out that way. So to see Shaw laying on the floor for that long, and someone else did it, it might have been McTominay as well. Again, don't get me wrong, they might have actually been really hurt, but I just feel like maybe it's of yesteryear, Dan, us as older football fans now, but like. Back in the day, I couldn't see. Yeah, if there's 2 minutes left in a final, surely some of that is playing to the ref. Surely you're laying on the floor playing to the ref. And if you are a team like Man United, that's a shock to me to do that.
Yeah, I don't. It's time wasting, isn't it? It's like, you know, the thing is as well, they tried doing the time wasting now, the players, but it's like the ref's just going to add it on at the end. So it basically achieves nothing except just add more time on at the end and frustrate the hell out of people when 3 minutes goes up on the board, and then like in the 5th minute of added time,
still going on.
That's normally when we're about to score. But you know, pity we didn't have an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on the bench like this time, really.
I know. Was it to the day as well? 22 years to the day, was it? They were saying.
Yeah, I think.
Or was it just 22 seasons? Or
it might. I think it's 22. Was it? Yeah, I think 22 years to the day. I'm not sure, because I know. I think the 2008 one. I think that was on the same day as well. 26th of May. And see, because I was thinking, so when the penalty started, I'm like, right, okay, it's the 26th of May, so it's the same date as the 2008 one. It's peeing down with rain, much like the 2008 one. It's like
someone's going to slip.
And then we had, I think, if I'm right, I think Ronaldo, so a star Portuguese player, took the 3rd penalty in that shootout as well and missed.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as Bruno stepped up 3rd, I'm like,
it's happening.
He's going to miss this. I honestly.
Close.
It's weird. So Bruno, obviously being our penalty taker, he was probably the least confident I was with a penalty taker when he stepped up. Yeah.
Why is that? just because it felt like the way the headlines would go. You know, he always does it, but this time around, because I thought that when he steps up, I thought, what if he's the one that that costs him? It would be ironic.
And the thing is, as soon as I saw Mata and then Telles step up, I'm like, why has Bruno not stepped up? You know,
I was shocked that Mata was first and not Bruno. You should
always put your best penalty taker first, get it out of the way, get it over and done with. And one thing I was disappointed with, the lack of players just literally putting their foot through the ball as well. Don't get me wrong, the penalties are brilliant, like side foots into the top corner. But there's nothing better than just watching a centre half just literally run from the edge of the D and just literally put his foot through it and try and
kind of what their keeper did, to be fair. You know, because it was like a goal kick. Just the net was in the way.
I remember Joe Hart did one very similar. I think it was in a pre-season game when
they can't help it.
City,
they can't do anything other than that, man. But De Gea his one was low, you know, and that obviously was saved. So it must have felt good, kind of like I said, for their keepers to get that, get the winner after like 2 or 3 times where he should have kept the ball out or could have, like, it's very close to keeping it out. But
I mean, I think De Gea got hands, I think, to 2 of theirs or 3 of theirs, and likewise, really got hands.
What did you think about him playing in the first place?
What, De Gea?
Yeah,
I think it was the right decision. I think, you know, that
just because big pressure, final, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that experience and obviously winning it. Well, no, he didn't play in the one against
Ajax. That one,
Ajax. Yeah, I think that was Romero. I think played that one.
Okay,
but yeah, I think just for the experience alone, I think, you know, he's our longest serving player now. So I think, you know, obviously, it's one of them things that I think he deserved to play anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's
still quite young.
For his normal kind of For his normal kind of role, he did what he needed to do. You know, like as best as he could. He needed, like I say, he got his hand to a few of the penalties. You don't expect to be the one taking the penalty, so you can't. I think it'd be harsh if people kind of like, you know what I mean, like the penalty kind of misses always. You know, they get people come down hard on them. You know what I mean? But I think to be a goalkeeper,
taker, isn't there? So
and for to be the 11th person in your team to take it, and you're a goalkeeper. And you've been in and out the side and whatever else, and you don't take penalties. You know what I mean? It's like, it was. It'd be harsh if people kind of turned against him for it, but
I mean, to be fair, we were unlucky to actually not get one in normal time as well. It was kind of like it falls into that seen them given category when Greenwood got a touch on the ball and their defender kicked him. That they're one of those I've seen them given. But then, you know, you're not obviously they say you can normally tell by the reaction of the players. There weren't like all the United hands didn't go up. I think they said one hand went up. And
but that was it. I remember on commentary, they were kind of shocked, weren't they? When they were like, hold on, let's watch this back. And it looks worse than it. And then obviously on BT, they have the referee come in and he was like, no, Villareal player got to it first as well. But I think Savage was saying that he thought Greenwood got for it too first as well. Did you feel like Savage, this whole game, was trying to get his... he wanted to almost get a famous quote in there. He kept trying to say stuff. You know when commentators do that, where like, you know, they want to get the famous line that's repeated and stuff like that because they think this might be the moment. The amount of times he said stuff that I thought you were just saying that. Like when Coquelin stepped up and he was like, hey, you're saving it. He's saving this one. And then he didn't. And he was like, that was a really good penalty. But there's other times in it as well where he was just saying some really, I felt, outlandish stuff. Like, especially in the last minute of stoppage time of the regular time. He just was like, this is it. It's like, all right, I know you've got to hype us up, but it really seemed like he was trying to get his moment in there, you know?
Yeah. He also mentioned, I scored in 2 penalty shootouts, both penalty shootouts that I was part of. Oh, I sent David Seaman the wrong way. Yeah, big deal, mate. Who cares?
Yeah, trust me.
But his son's actually signed a professional deal now at United, so.
Oh, there you go. That's why he had a little bit of bias tonight. Who? Savage's son or Senior's son?
Savage.
For a second, I was like, wait a minute.
And he used to play for us as well, like years ago. So,
well, there you go.
Hey, terrible commentator. Absolutely awful commentator, though.
I think he's likable in certain doses, and I think he's good at certain things. But I think, for a final,
He's likable if you've got the TV on mute.
No, I think he's got that kind of character. I don't know, but maybe that's why he feels like he's shoved down people's throat and that. But yeah, I just felt like he constantly tried to get his moment tonight. Which don't get me wrong, like if you're a commentator, that'd be a dream, to get the famous call. They think it's all over. All of them, even like as an Arsenal fan, there's plenty of Arsenal ones I look back on and go, that was the moment. Arsenal fans can say that, but like front to back, they know that every kind of word in that phrase. As a commentator, you're going to want to do that, but I feel like Savage was really forcing it tonight. But hey.
Yeah, it's pretty much like I could probably recite to you every single word from the 90th minute of the '99 final right the way through. And Solskjaer has won it.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like even the first goal, it's like the corner coming in, it's like Giggs with a shot, Sheringham.
We'll get you to do it one day, don't worry. Think of happier times, Dan. No.
Yeah,
but
back when we actually won European trophies.
Well, yeah, and the main one as well. Let's be fair.
I mean, to be fair, it's like,
too much. But...
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things, isn't it? It's like you look at it on paper, we got to the final, we should have won it, but.
I mean, I predicted after the Arsenal game, I was like, you guys are definitely going to win it because Villareal weren't all that. It was just Arsenal were terrible.
Yeah, cup finals are not won on paper though, but it's
true that they are won by goalkeepers taking penalties.
In this case, they definitely are. Yeah.
I feel bad for you, man.
It's one of them things. We did it to ourselves. Like we just weren't ruthless enough.
So that feels, mate. Again, same in the round before. So from here, obviously, Unai Emery wins his fourth Europa League, 4 out of 5, where he's got to the final. Obviously, Arsenal was the team that were the problem, not him apparently, because looking back at that final, that's definitely probably the case. Because we were awful in that as well. But anyway, he wins it. What do you think is next for Emery? Do you think this catapults him into a bigger? No, I don't want to be disrespectful, but he was on his way back up. He was going to PSG. He did some things there, then went to Arsenal. Didn't quite work out there either. So then it felt like he kind of stepped a little bit back, go to his home country, go to the competition he knows and loves, in winning the Europa League again. Do you think it's time for him to start stepping to somewhere else, or do you think he'll stay there for a bit longer? He ain't been there long, to be fair.
No, and he's gonna, I think just let the guy enjoy his evening at the moment, and
come on now.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I think I always a fan of like managers sticking around at clubs, but I mean, he could always go down to manage Tottenham in the Conference League if he wants to.
True. Yeah, I mean, then again, why would he not stick around? He's got them in Champions League now as well. So
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. I think that's why this competition, like people can slate it all they want, but it's if your club's not doing too well in the league, but you're in the Europa League, you just throw everything you can at trying to win it, and then you're in the Champions League the next season. So you're getting obviously that moolah coming in, but. Yeah, I wish they'd had the Super League now. At least we would have had a chance at that.
We would have, mate. Yeah, we would have been in it, but we would have been crap. That's a sure with Arsenal. But yeah, okay. And what about Man United? What's next for them, man? I mean, I know Ollie's had a good season, finishing second, getting to a final, getting through that kind of semi-stage that he always struggled with. I think a lot of the kind of negative noises around him have kind of faded in the past few months, but do you think this could kind of push it back that way, or do you think he's done enough this season to kind of give himself again another go next year?
No, I think he's going to be. I think unless he goes on like a run where he loses like 5 on the bounce, I don't think we're
really
getting rid of him anytime soon.
Yeah.
I guess as well the whole thing with like Ed Woodward leaving as well. Depending on, I guess, who they get in to replace him, how well him and Solskjaer work together, or her work with Solskjaer. And yeah, I mean, I think it's just about getting. Cause I don't think we're far off. I mean, it's just getting. I think we need another centre back, a central midfielder, a winger, and although yeah, we've got centre forwards, you know, but there's obviously going to be a lot of talk around a certain Tottenham player that's leaving, but I don't think he's going to go United. I think if anything, Kane will end up at City.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
But it's just I mean, there was obviously rumours that United could be looking at a cash plus Martial deal, but it's whether they'd accept that. But I mean, you look at this season, we finished second. You know, a lot of people were saying, oh, you know, yeah, it's going to be probably City and Liverpool going close. You know, I think I predicted Chelsea were going to win. I think back on our Premier League predictions, way back when. And the fact that obviously we finished second, I think we've done quite well, you know, and we're unbeaten away from home as well. But then you've got to think it's different times. It's like, would we have gone unbeaten away from home if there were crowds in all of those stadiums that we played in?
I think this season's been a good stepping stone. I think winning the Europa League would have definitely cemented that even more so. But
he got past that hurdle of getting to a final.
Exactly,
he had the hoodoo of not getting past the semi-final stage.
And you're in the Champions League still anyway. So,
exactly.
You know, he's got a good chance next year with that. So, I think
that we get a favourable draw in it now.
Yeah, well,
you know, there's nothing better than watching a European night at Old Trafford under the floodlights, big game, that big game feel, and that's when I feel Man United put on their best performances. Do you know? I think it was one of them. I think it was that we didn't give Villareal, or we gave them too much respect in a way. The fact that we played so attacking, it's like, right, okay, we know that you're going to be decent in defence, and they didn't lose a single game in Europe, which is, you know, a really good achievement as well. So, you know, all credit to it. Emery's Invincibles, there we go, channeling the Arsenal at last. So,
I think you might be right there, yeah. But,
so you can claim one thing. There you go. You taught him how to be invincible.
He picks it up and then he carried it on over there. Yeah, good for him. I feel like Arsenal won a trophy, sort of. But I mean, well, that's the final that could have been really Arsenal, Man United. Maybe it would have been. It would have been different for sure because Real would have won that, not being in it. But again, they didn't lose a match in the Europa League. I've said they shouldn't have got through so easily against Arsenal, but the fact is they did. They did the job they needed to do in both legs. They did very well, and it was just down to if the other team can't capitalise, then you can do what you can do to kind of like hold up your end of it. And I think they did that very well against Arsenal, and they've done it very well tonight against you guys. And obviously, I think all in all, they're the team that were probably hoping for penalties more than Man United were, which is why I was shocked at seeing players down for so long and stuff like that, thinking like you're running down the clock, it shouldn't be you doing this. But all in all, they ended up winning it. Sorry, mate. I don't mean to keep dragging it out, but that's pretty much it.
They go on to the Super Cup now in Belfast, I think that is, to face either City or Chelsea.
Which would be interesting. Watch them come out on top there as well. Somehow, when no one expects it once again. But we'll try and be back for the Champions League as well. Obviously, City versus Chelsea should be a big game. I know Dan has probably got an idea who he'd rather not win, and I have an idea who I would also rather not win. but we'll see when the time comes how that plays out. But as Dan mentioned, we've got England stuff here. As you know, as I'm sure you're aware, football fans, the Euros is coming up. So we've got a lot of new content coming up on this channel. We recently did our squad reactions when Gareth Southgate named his provisional squad. If you're interested to see what Dan thinks and who he would have took in his 26, which could still be the case because there's 33 at the moment, this is the video you want to watch on this channel as well. And Dan has also done his starting 11 out of that squad. For who he thinks should start England's first game against Croatia. But Dan, today, that is it. We are all Europa Leagued out. And, hey, I guess there's always next year for our clubs, eh? Well, probably more so yours than mine.
Thank goodness for that. I think they said in the during the shootout, 200 teams had played in the Europa League this year.
Wow.
In total.
And it all got
that's qualifying round. And it came down to Villareal and Man United. And... Yeah, on the day, you know, you got to hand it to them. You know, better team won. So, Got to be gracious in defeat, and so
And again, as a neutral, it was ridiculously exciting to watch 21 penalties because I constantly get going, what? Every time. Once I got to the fifth one, I was like, what? Every single time. So, it was exciting for that. Again, it's a shame for you. You didn't win. But hey, now we're moving to the Euros where we can both support the same team, Dan. And hopefully England can make our 2021 a little bit better. But we'll see about that.
Well, wait, is it not 2020 then?
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah, all right.
Go back a year. That
you
means
part of the marketing team,
game,
right?
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for joining us, Dan, and everyone that's watching live and on demand. Please leave your comments below and let us know what you thought of the game. And again, we will see you here for some more football content. See you later.
Bye.
Welcome to RNFC, the official Rebellious Noise Football Channel, where you'll find content such as goal hanging, live match reactions, as well as news and opinions on all aspects of the beautiful game. We will also cover some of the more cultural side of the sport, such as kit reviews, football nostalgia, and in-depth historical pieces on those who built the game that we love today. So win, lose or draw, make sure you subscribe before the full-time whistle blows.